Now, real quick for the keyboard warriors who are sharpening your caps lock keys right now. So if seeing a dad nerd out with his son bothers you, shut up and go somewhere else. First question is, are you planning to do a Q&A or something for this or another milestone? Yes I am. Welcome to it. Hey everyone, welcome back to Regal Rebel, and today's a very special one. Now, I said I was going to do a 1,000 subscriber special Q&A, and here it is. Seriously, thank you every single one of you. Every single subscribe, like, comment means more to me than I can absolutely say here on YouTube. This whole channel just started as me documenting a crazy idea, aka building a 1-to-1 scale 3D printed Droideka from scratch, not necessarily design or anything, but just 3D printing it, filling it, sanding it, and painting it. And somehow here we are building a whole community around that. So today I'm doing a Q&A to answer some of your awesome questions, show you some behind the scenes, and maybe a few fun stories along the way. Before we jump in, I want to give a quick reminder. I started a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. It is actually a Hot Toys Droideka for those of you who are new here. So make sure you're subscribed so you get the notification of the video. On May 28th is when I'm going to be announcing the winner on this channel. All you have to do is comment and just be an active part of the Regal Rebel community. That's all I ask. There's no purchase necessary, and full details are going to be down in the video description below. So let's dive in. I've got my laptop here, a bunch of questions saved, and let's just get right into it. What primer did you lay down first? And this is actually a great question. It might be a little bit deeper than you think. So I started with all my projects in the past, not necessarily on this channel, but past projects, with using Rust-Oleum filler primer. Now that is a very budget-friendly primer, but at the same time, in the long run, not very budget-friendly at all. If you guys are actually looking to be more effective with your filler, I highly recommend switching to Duplicolor filler primer. You can't really go wrong with any of the Duplicolor filler primers, but I highly recommend going with the red. That is what I have been using on this Droideka, minus one of the legs, which I coated in gray first, but since I did some sanding on it after filling, I'm going to be coating that with red just to keep everything the same, and then the shades and hues of the paint on top are going to work out being the same. This is from David Smalley. I apologize if I'm not saying your name correctly. You've been one of my biggest supporters. But he said, looking good, my friend. I bet you're tired of painting red. There was also some mention of the workshop and everything as well in there. But I must say, red is now permanently etched into my soul. I see it in my sleep. Whenever I close my eyes, it's just red. But seriously, thank you so much. And yes, the shop is coming along very nicely. It's just a garage. I've got a lot of stuff I need to store in there. We somehow manage to always have more crap than we need. But I'm also a very sentimental person, so we have stuff that I just can't get myself to get rid of. I've made a nice little nook for my workshop, and everything's going really smooth that way. So thank you so much for all the support. Herald of Death said, I think I would love to get into 3D printing, but it sounds so complicated. Now, this is a totally valid argument for not getting into 3D printing, but it's getting less and less valid as time goes on, and companies like Bambu Lab disrupt the market as much as they have. Bambu has actually made huge strides, especially lately, with H2D, and especially the Bambu Lab, just the P series and the X series. I have two Bambu Lab X1 carbons. That's what I started with. Now, it's a lot more printer than what a lot of people need. Getting back on topic here, the Bambu Lab printers are about as plug and play as it gets in the 3D printing market. You've got Maker World that you can just download and send to printer right then and there, no changing any settings, they're already set for you. It doesn't get much easier than that in my personal opinion. Now, obviously, there's probably going to be somebody out there that has something to say about, oh, they can make this easier, this easier. It's about as easy as I can imagine, as easy as I can imagine it getting. Sorry, I cannot talk today, I guess. Now, when you're talking about designing, that's where things get a little bit more interesting. I am not a 3D designer. I would love to absolutely learn, but that's a big learning curve for me, and I just don't have the time for that right now. Ideally, in the future, if this takes off and YouTube actually becomes more of a thing, I would love to actually hire a 3D designer, really do like custom Regal Rebel exclusive builds. That is definitely a pipe dream. We'll see if that ever comes to fruition, but that's really what I would love to do at some point in the future. So stay tuned. It really helps if you subscribe and like the videos as well, and watch as much as you can, because right now I'm not even monetized on YouTube, but as many of you may know, 1,000 subscribers is one of the marks for monetization, and then I need to hit 4,000 watch hours, which we are right around that 2,000 watch hour mark. Not asking one of you guys to watch 2,000 hours of footage. My God, no, absolutely not. But the more you watch of this, the more it helps me get to that point. So thank you very much. All I'm asking is for time, no money or anything like that. Here's where things get a little bit interesting. Here's a comment that popped up a while ago on one of my videos. This was, I'm not even going to mention his name. It'll be over this footage here, but 8 minutes of clickbait, and I'm also proud that in Germany, the uploading of your minor kids is lawfully forbidden. Now, real quick for the keyboard warriors who are sharpening your caps lock keys right now, no, I don't use my kid for views. He's not a prop. He's my young Padawan, as I call him here on the channel. He asks to be a part of these videos. I know he's only 2. He doesn't necessarily know what he's asking for, but if I deemed it a risk, I wouldn't do it. There's plenty of other times in these videos that he does ask to be in them, and I just tell him no, because either I'm painting, I don't want him around the fumes, or whatever else. I just don't want him around for certain things of these videos. And honestly, these builds have been one of the coolest things that we've been able to bond over, and it's absolutely phenomenal. I love it so much. Now, moving away from the drama, because I don't want this to be a full drama channel or anything like that, but I just couldn't help but react to that a little bit. Dave here again actually asked, is that a tent you're using as a paint booth? Short answer, yes. Long answer, no. It's actually designed as a paint booth, but it's more designed like a pop-up tent. So it is actually name brand from Wagner. I think it was like $5 or $10. It wasn't even on clearance, believe it or not. But that's definitely, as far as painting aspect of this project, it's the best money I've spent. Ken Stanley here, another big supporter of the channel, going to build a paint booth in the backyard, and as much as I'd love to, not yet. If this channel keeps growing, maybe one day I'll have a full-on workspace, but right now I'm just going to let the grass be the grass in the backyard. I would love to have a warehouse in the future to actually have as a recording studio and a workshop for 3D prints, and have a 3D printing farm. That is the ultimate goal for all of this. Whether it actually comes to fruition or not, who knows? That's future me's problem. All I can do right now is work hard and at my full-time job and this at the same time. So, yeah, it's actually like currently midnight while I'm recording this. So I make time where I can. I'm sorry I'm not saying this right, but UB Woodman 915 says, don't rush it for us, just keep the faith. And I gotta say thank you, truly. I'm absolutely doing my best to keep everything entertaining for you guys while also keeping it real. If there's one thing I'm not, or at least that I try not to be, is fake. Now, there's plenty of times where I'm really tired and not quite feeling it, that I just put on the happy face and big energy because I have to for the camera. But that's also a little bit of just me motivating myself at that point. So, but no, comments like that really help me kind of breathe, take a step back, and be like, okay, no, this is for me, this is fun, because it is fun. I don't want to make it sound like it's not, but there's times, especially when we've been on the sanding stage and filling for a few weeks now, It gets to be a little bit mundane, and it's almost like I don't want to go out and work on it, but I got to keep myself accountable. That's what this is all about too. It helps keep me accountable for just getting the project done. So thank you again. TB Bots, another big supporter of the channel that I do notice quite a bit. Are you planning to smooth everything or lean into battle damage? And this is where I'm going to say a little bit of both. So let me explain here. There's nothing about a battle droid, especially after being in the Battle of Geonosis or even battling in Naboo. There's nothing about them that should be 100% pristine. There's definitely areas of it. I mean, I've got to make it look like metal, right? So I'm definitely going to be smoothing everything like I have been and filling in seams. I don't want to see print lines necessarily, but I can definitely hide some little, as Adam Savage Untested might say, crimes of the build. So the shoulder piece that I did in last week's video with the Bondo over top, and I just left the gouges and stuff in there that I did with the card when I applied the Bondo, because that's just going to add to the battle damage. You can't have something that comes from the world of Star Wars and have it be pristine. It doesn't look right. So yeah, I want to portray that as much as I possibly can accurately, but also have my own little artistic twist on it that doesn't take away from the design of the droid, if that makes sense. NYCIRL. What's the weight of the Droideka? Right now, honestly, I haven't put it on a scale, but just estimating, it's heavy. I used around 37 spools of filament, so that's 37 kilograms so far in it, and so what, that's 82 pounds, I believe. And then paint and filler on top of it, so I would say, I mean, it's got to be at least 85 pounds by now, if not a little bit more. That's conservative on my estimate. Matt sorry, I'm probably butchering a lot of these, but Matt asked, Bondo or wood putty, what's easier to work with? And this is actually a great question, and one that I, as of recently, feel a little bit more qualified to answer. I have to say Bondo. The Bondo body filler, not just the spot putty, but the actual body filler itself from the can. Application, so much easier than wood filler. Wood filler does not stick to the surface of the 3D print worth of crap, if I'm being honest. Bondo, you lay it on there, it's good to go. It cures faster. Now, when it comes to the sanding stage, after it's all dry, wood filler would get the point on that one. Wood filler basically sands like butter, which is a good thing, but can also be a bad thing. It's really easy to sand too much on that. Bondo, it's hard to sand too much on Bondo. It really is, especially without power tools by hand. I do a lot of hand sanding. I've been using the foot sander, actually, that Prop Shop recommends. I actually just burned it up this week. Put it to the test big time, and it did not survive. So I need to order myself another one of those, but luckily they're cheap. Just might have to wait until I can afford to get another one of those. Now we get into some common questions that I don't necessarily have screenshots for, but these are questions that are asked a lot in person when they see the Droideka, whether it be at the Nerd and Out Con that I showcased this droid at. If you haven't checked out that video, definitely check it out. Lots of fun. But number one question I get is, how long has the Droideka taken me so far? And print time, as some of you who have been around since the beginning of, or at least the middle of this whole build, print time between my two printers, they went 24/7 for about a month and a half, so it's combined about 2,000 print hours that just went into printing the parts. Manual labor, I would say easily 50 plus hours, probably a lot more honestly, but I've really lost count and haven't even bothered keeping track. It's nights, weekends, just whenever I can squeeze in some time is really all it is. Next question is, what printers and supplies am I using? So both of my printers are the Bambu Lab X1 Carbon. I'm not going to say I'm like a Bambu Lab purist or anything by any means, but Bambu Lab definitely has the best products I can recommend. I've worked with that the most. It's not the only good thing out there, but it's some of the best stuff out there, and they have a big name in the 3D printing world, and for darn good reason. Filament that I've used for it has all been Bambu Lab filament as well. If you order in bulk, they give you quite a discount. I think I got like $300 off my filament order. And then when it comes to primers, I've already covered its Duplicolor for spray paint and everything. I believe Krylon is the copper color I found. And then when it comes to the washes and everything else, it's Liquitex acrylic paints. And then the Rebel Chrome spray paint as well. I'm going to be using that on the pistons. And yeah, it's just kind of a mashup of a lot of different brands of spray paint at that point. Just whatever's going to work well together. Next commonly asked question is, how much money has this cost you so far? So I have not been keeping a good tally of how much this has all cost me. Filament, filler, paint, adhesives, I would say I'm around that $1,000 mark at this point. So just to be clear, not doing this for profit. I'm doing this for me and honestly for you guys out there viewing these videos. And this house here is not going to be the permanent location of the Droideka. It's actually going to end up at Nerdin' Out in Rochester, Minnesota. And we worked out a deal. I'm not getting any profit for it by any means. It's really going to be an even wash. Just roll it over into the next project. Now, Northern Tide 19 asks, have you thought about adding any movements or sounds to your build? And yes, I have, but realistically, when it comes to especially the Droideka in particular, there's no good way to add any animatronics. It's very much just a static statue. It's such a complex structure that there needs to be reinforcements in a lot of key areas that would require movement. Really, the only thing that can move on this is the head moves side to side. Maybe at some point in the future with a future Droideka build, because I can build more than one. That's the joy of 3D printing. There will be lights in the eyes at the end of this, though. So keep in mind that's at least going to happen. I have thought about sound. I'm not going to add it to the one that I'm working on right now, but at some point in the future, I'm probably going to think about how I can add sound and speakers into it. Just know that I have thought of it, but this design does not lend itself very well. I don't mean Droid Division's design, but just the design of the Droideka in general does not lend itself to real-world movement. Igor DeFay, what paint did you use for the chrome? I realized in that second video I did showcasing the chrome, I didn't actually tell what the chrome paint was. I did in the first one I did, but the second one, a lot of people in the comments were getting on me about not mentioning what type of chrome it was. But what I'm actually using is the Revel Chrome Spray is what it's called. Chrome without an E. So somebody in the comments, I believe too, sorry I can't give you credit as far as your name right this second, but actually told me Revel is a German company, which I think I knew that, but I did not know that Germans don't spell chrome with an E. It's just chrome without an E. Okay, Rebels, so here is the wood filler coated shoulder. Now for reference, this is the Bondo one. Okay, we got those nice Bondo scuffs up there. Just unintentionally turned out pretty much exactly the way I wanted it. Yeah, really happy with that. So now I just wanted to see what wood filler would do. Obviously we have a lot more pitting, a lot more dings and scratches. I'm still gonna coat this in the copper just to see what it looks like. I can always sand it down if I don't like it. Right now in primer, you can see it with the lights. I think it might be a little bit too much. We'll find out, guys. This is all about experimentation here. And if it still looks good, it'll look good. That's not a problem. And that's going to do it for the Q&A, Rebels. Thank you so much again for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. Never, ever thought my first big YouTube milestone would come from building a droid in my garage, but here we are. If you've got more questions, drop them in the comments below. And if this video gets enough traction, I may make this a regular thing, maybe like a monthly Q&A segment. Would you guys want to be down for that? Thank you so much for being here with me, Rebels. It means a ton to me. If you feel so inclined, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And in the meantime, Rebels, keep dreaming, keep building, and until next time, always remember, rebellions are built on creativity.